everyone, my name is Kate Lavelle. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about an AAC device known as the NovaChat 10. There are some that are NovaChat 8s, there used to be NovaChat 7s. The number behind the name just means how big the screen is, so this is a 10-inch device. The NovaChat is created by Saltillo Corporation, which is based in Ohio. And this device actually only weighs 2 pounds. It has a stand in the back, you can have a strap on it, and a handle for easy portability. So the NovaChat is actually just a Samsung Galaxy tablet. What Saltillo Corporation does, you can either buy it as a dedicated device, which means that the child or client is locked into the tablet just for communication purposes, so they can only go into the NovaChat software. You are able to buy it a non-dedicated device, and you can actually use the internet, you can do social media, things like that, so you have a wide range of use. When you do get a medicated device, that is the one that's covered by Medicare, and that is actually about $2,000 more than getting an undedicated device. So the NovaChat is actually, it has a large user area, and you can change let me go into the library here. So you can change the vocab to meet any user's needs. So you can go into 4, and this is going to be 4 cells. So this is kiddos who have less of a fine motor skill, so it's hard when the buttons are tiny. With kids who are cognitively a little bit lower than some of your other clients. So it actually builds the sentences for you.
I want to eat candy.
So it doesn't limit them to, say, 4 cells on a lower tech device. It actually still gives you options, but it still limits the user in terms of what you think they can actually do.
I feel happy.
Then you can switch it up in your library. It actually goes all the way up to 108 symbols. And it also provides a keyboard on this one. So you can see in terms of, I'll bring it a little closer. In terms of fine motor skills, some kiddos who don't have that ability aren't at the level where they can handle this yet, or they're not spelling, they don't have that ability, then this wouldn't be for them. But there are kiddos that I have on my caseload who are able to use something like this. So also going into this, you can do all of your editing on the device if you want to. Sorry, this one has a password on it. You can do all the editing on here. Otherwise, they have Chat Editor, which is a program you can put on your computer. You can make all of your edits on there really quickly. Anytime I edit a button, it takes about 30 seconds max. And then you can actually just plug the cord into the bottom of here and then transfer the vocab to the device, which is really easy. And then at the same time, it's already backed up on your computer. It's saved in case anything ever happens to the device. It gets wiped out, things like that. So also another thing about the chat editor on the computer software, there's a thing called capture mode. So I can actually go in there and say on the computer I was typing out my turn, or I want to go into places. I want to go to the beach. So say one of your kids was working on a certain sequence. They're working on taking a break, using that appropriately, or saying that they need space. Instead of always telling them press this button, you want to limit your verbal when you're teaching them this, especially when they are having a hard time or in crisis mode. So you can actually print out those sequences from your computer just to use as a visual, which is really nice because they're still getting that support when they are having a hard time and on their device. Maybe they're having a hard time and they can't figure out what it is they're trying to say or what they want to say or what's appropriate. So going with just the visual of their icons is really helpful, and then you're able to completely limit all of your verbal interaction. And those are actually really good in the classroom too. So you can incorporate certain activities, and maybe you only have one NovaChat in your classroom and something else. You can still make individualized work that will help them get through, and it'll actually have the icons on there for you so they recognize. And they have those visual cues when they're doing their work that might help them through and get a little bit more familiar with that. This device has actually been used with people who have cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, autism. Lou Gehrig's disease, traumatic brain injuries, Parkinson's. So it really encompasses a wide variety of clients. And this one in particular is focused on language building and categories for skill acquisition. So as you can see here on the top, you have people, places, social, describing, and groups. So everything is grouped on here. So food, art, furniture, body. Some other devices are based on motor planning. And this, in a sense, is too because the buttons really shouldn't be moving. You shouldn't be swapping them out on your clients. But this is basically for kiddos who can identify pictures. It's for kiddos who can categorize nouns, and they know, which items go in place, which items go in drinks. They can actually understand that grouping system. Otherwise, if your kid's more of a motor planning kid where they're learning strictly on the pattern of the buttons that they're pressing, then this might not be the device for them. So you really need to make sure that they are able to identify pictures when using this system. So, excuse me, when teaching this, or any device really, you should be using partner augmented input. There is a large research base about this. I went to a few trainings, and I'm currently a speech assistant, so I do a lot of the implementing in the classrooms and working with my students one-on-one with their devices. So what partner augmented input is basically we want to be using the child's language system with them. We don't want to be talking to them in, say, I was talking to you in Spanish and you are used to talking in English. It's just, the communication wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be understanding what I'm saying, and you wouldn't understand why I'm using this language while you're using a different one. So we want to make the kids familiar with this. So when I'm implementing this with the children, I will actually talk to them using their language. I'm still using my vocal output that I have, but I'm also using their language, which is using the device. So if I was saying hello to them, I would actually be touching their device and saying, hello.
How are you?
How are you? So you're actually just letting them know that they're not the only ones using this. It's actually, you feel comfortable using it. It's a great mode of communication. It's not just theirs. And you're basically showing them sequences that they may not know. And especially if they've never seen a system like this before, it's completely unfamiliar to them. They're not really sure what they're supposed to be doing with it. So you're showing them and providing that input so that they have a sense of what they should be doing and the sequences they should be saying and, what they can say, because there are so many varieties of phrases that can be said on this, and it's so helpful to them, especially, the kids and the adults who aren't completely nonverbal. So this opens so many doors for them. And we also don't want the clients to think of this as work. I know a lot of the classrooms that I actually did trainings in is basically putting this in front of them. There was no input from the staff, and it was basically, tell me on your words, tell me on your talker, and the expectation to, I'm only using this during work, and this is, only a school thing. So it's hard to generalize these skills back to the home setting or, back to a clinic setting. So we want them to know that this is not work. This is not something that they only use in school. This is something that can open up doors in all environments in their life and can really make their life a lot more enjoyable, because you're getting social interaction and you're being able to tell people exactly how you feel and things that you want, things that you need. So I've seen some amazing success stories for my students, some that are 5 years old and some that are 22 years old. So I know that it definitely is successful and can open up a lot of doors and be a life-changing support system. Thank you.